So I'll dance next time.
Yeah, do you know how to do dance?
Yeah. And a few things I can say about also, here's how you say welcome in Rwanda. You say Murakaza mu Rwanda. It's a very long sentence. I don't know if you can try just for Murakaza mu Rwanda.
Murakaza
mu Rwanda. Awesome.
Yeah.
So in my second language would be Bienvenue Rwanda, which is French, the one I was studying in high school, and the same as well. But the funny thing about my language, my Kinyarwanda, is that I can say different things at the same time that means the same thing. So Mulakaza neza mu Rwanda is the same as Kaze neza mu Rwanda, but you will find some tiny similarities. There is neza, etc. Mu Rwanda or Rwanda, it's like in Rwanda, so it's not that hard to run probably. I encourage you to try. And what I miss home, of course when I came to US, I was super excited. But I experienced like a homesickness where I miss my food. So this is always a special present from my grandmother. And I always miss this, so I really wish I found this in US, but I couldn't find that one. I went to Walmart many times searching for this, but I never find it. So basically, this is a pierre de bœuf. You could call it a beef heart, probably, if I translate correctly. So the way it is, it's very sweet, and it has a very soft inner part of it. And when you just peel the shell out, then you just cut into pieces, and it has a very, very sweet juice. So it's a very wonderful, when I'm eating this in the morning, I always miss this memory. And I will show you a little video about Rwanda, and this video is about, it starts from Kigali, which is the capital city, all the way to different places where there is national park, there is lakes. Those are like various interesting places you can go and visit if you really want to come to Rwanda. I'm sure you will want. And as you can see, those are hills and mountains in there. And we have zebras. I think zebras are most common some in sub-Saharan African countries. So I love those creatures. They're very wonderful. And this is recorded dancing. And this is our capital city.
Kigali, the capital city of Rwanda, is an excellent base for exploring the rest of the country. Due to its central position and good transportation network, all parts of Rwanda are easily accessible in less than a day. However, before you
could
rush
see
on
that
to
you can
discover
one day
100,000
travel. So
hills,
the same as
take a
Sudan.
few
I think
days in
Sudan
Kigali
is
to explore
slightly
one of
bigger than
Africa's
Rwanda.
most
So
cosmopolitan cities. And there are plenty of places where you can stop for a drink or a coffee, such as Rwanda's famous bourbon coffee. These beans were even classed in an American study as the second best worldwide. The center of Kigali is bustling, especially its main market area, with lots of stalls and small shops. There are rows of pots, clothing, fruits,
and those are parts of like
just
our
about everything
artistic traditions.
can be found there. Kigali Memorial Center, built in 2004, commemorates the victims and survivors of all genocide, focusing on the 1994 genocide in Rwanda. Its objective is to promote understanding of individual and collective responsibility in combating racism and intolerance. The displays within the center clearly explain the history and conditions in Rwanda that led up to the genocide. The emotionally moving photos of victims, video clips of key events, and stories of both crimes and heroic deeds will transform and educate any visitor. Today, Rwanda is looking ahead to development, with the Rwandan people playing an important part. Among other talents, Rwandans are skilled at carving, sculpture, and weaving. Weaving is one of the specialties of Rwanda. You'll find baskets, pots, and bowls with traditional patterns in all different shapes and sizes. But there is still more to learn about Rwandan culture, such as cow dung painting, known as imigongo. Traditionally, cow dung was used to artfully plaster the inside walls of houses. Today, imigongo is a national art form. In Nyakavingi, in the eastern part of the country, is a craft cooperative where most of the paintings originate. Here you have a chance to dabble in the art of imigongo. It's not as easy as it looks. Learning from the charming women in the co-op makes it fun and memorable.
Is that really cow poop?
Huh?
Is that really cow poop?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah. I myself
And an
use that
exciting
to
day
make
in
a small
There are
bucket
some nice
where my
hotels to
grandmother
choose, such as
keeps
the
those
Serena.
little
The
presents
ambiance
for
is
me.
very pleasant and you comfortable.
I mean, it's really
For a
interesting,
fabulous
but
dinner, check out
we
Serena's
don't see that
restaurant,
as
where the
very,
chef offers
yeah.
a variety of culinary specialties, like Mongolian
But they make a
service.
very great decoration. Once they dry out.
you may have to try that, you guys.
No, I'd rather not.
You
No,
guys
it's weird. I would only do it with gloves.
About it.
Well, we're only do it with gloves.
You'll come in and do a little art lesson with us, right?
Absolutely, I should.
The #1 attraction for visitors to Rwanda
And this is in north where I live, so you could see exactly the mountain. So in this mountain is like animals they call
This area
gorillas.
along the border with Kenya
They're
and
very
Rwanda
interesting
is
creatures.
the most
They're
beautiful sites
super
in
powerful
Africa,
animals.
and the best place to track them. The climb up to the gorilla families leads to an old growth
So if you really like hiking, you should definitely come to Rwanda.
It's truly phenomenal.
Okay, those are gorillas. You could see how they just eat green grasses. So Jim.
How cool is that?
These are very popular.
Have you done the hike, like,
Yeah.
gone up and see, yeah?
Visiting actually it's like 5,000 Rwandan francs because $1 equals to 600 Rwandan francs, so it would be around 600
Ooh.
something. Yeah.
Alright, save up for this one, guys.
They are very giant.
Yeah.
Wait, can you please watch me?
I don't know. Can you get close enough to touch them, he's wondering?
Well, usually you keep some distance because you never know if they are really.
Yeah. Maybe if you have a really long stick. I would not want to poke a gorilla with a stick.
But they like really praying with people sometimes when they are not mad.
But the Volcanoes National Park is not just about mountain climbs. More and more travelers are taking the opportunity to do nature walks in the forest, climb up the summits of one or more volcanoes, or trek the rare species of golden monkeys. Golden monkey trekking is a newcomer on the wildlife scene of East Africa, but it's getting more and more popular.
So when you are tracking these monkeys, it's more to look to the leftovers of what have been eating. Then you determine, you judge for how long this has been. This indicates that it's for yesterday in the evening.
It's a very different experience from gorilla viewing. The golden monkeys are smaller, nimbler, and very
So monkeys, you can see how they jump pretty fast.
This would be so much better than a zoo, you guys. Seriously.
No, because if we would go here, we could get attacked, and at a zoo, you couldn't because they're all in
But then you could have real life experience.
They're gonna be God, so it's not gonna attack you.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a good life experience if you get attacked, and you know what to do.
It's kind of like a bear. If you get attacked by a bear, you know what not to do next time.
There is a trick
Yeah.
to draw them out of the
I mean, every time I go home, usually I go by the perk. I really like perks. So,
Yeah.
because, I don't know, I just like perks
Yeah.
because I'm from North, probably.
Mm-hmm. All right. I have a golden monkey speech impediment.
And this has they have like a body language. So it's like when they communicate with you, you exactly know if they are going to jump or if they are not. So
When it
it's,
comes to accommodation in Volcanoes National Park,
and those are the village I was saying. So people live surrounding on the top of the village. So those are the houses. So you could sit down everywhere you wanted
Here,
to.
you can
So
stay in individual stone shelters.
the interesting part is that everywhere it's green, like here in
The
US probably.
Sabino Lodge is situated
But
in the
even
foothills of
there's
the
a lot of bushes
and
around.
affords wonderful views of the volcanoes. Guest cottages offer any comfort you would expect.
And sadly, it never snows.
Sadly.
Yeah.
And beautifully
You're,
constructed.
you're really close to the
A
equator.
perfect
You're
place to explore this.
Yeah, it's like a few, I don't know if
degrees above.
few degrees from equator. So it's like there is
Around
Uganda
Volcanoes National
and there
Park
is
are several
Rwanda
local
just
points of
right below.
interest, notably
So-
the lakes Buera and Rwanda. The largest of the lakes is Buera, and with its inlets and coves, it's a lovely place to discover. Of course,
And this is Lake Kivu where I showed you before.
boats are the
So
main
it's
form of
in the west.
transport throughout the year.
So people
it's
use
easy
the
to hire
traditional boats. So it's not like this modern, like a highly technology boat. So people use for visiting like Lake Kivu and surroundings.
Feel like going for a swim now? On the banks of Lake Kivu,
I did my high
Rwanda's
school
largest lake,
by this Lake
every
Kivu.
season is
So
good
my
for
high school,
swimming and
because it was a
sunning.
boarding school,
especially
I
in
had to
Rwanda.
travel from north all the way to west.
The lakeside
So most of the
town is
time
very
I was
popular
on
among
this
both
lake.
foreign visitors and Rwandans, where they chill out on the country's best beaches. Furthermore, Rubavu is a resort town with excellent hotels where you can easily settle in for a few days.
Like gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Rubavu is a green, peaceful, and appealing place to wander around, or to try some water
And-
sports.
Yeah, very much. If you really want to come to Rwanda or you wish at some point, just keep me in touch.
Yeah.
I'll be able to direct you to those wonderful places.
Yep.
So and
We'll get your phone number too, for sure.
awesome.
You may watch fishermen paddling in their dugout canoes,